Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. CQ, 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 calling all my friends. We've been gone for well over 10 days. Well, there's been a good reason for that. First of all, what's important? Well, my wife said we're going to have a family reunion. It's going to be me and my brothers, my sister, and we're going to bring our spouses, and you are one of the spouses, and it was arranged that we're going to go for a week on the outer banks of the beautiful shoreline in North Carolina. And so we started to prepare for that, and we had a wonderful time. The hurricane came close, but it just meant for bigger waves and red flags, which said you can stay on the beach, but don't swim. And but for the most part, we had everything was perfect, beautiful weather, beautiful swimming time. Lots of relaxation, probably a little bit too much to eat or drink on an occasion, but everybody was good, and it went extremely well. And at this age and stage in our lives, we don't know what life will bring for sure in the immediate and near future. And so it was good that everybody had a good time to share memories and pray for our children and think about the things that we're trying to help each other with as we grow older and hopefully wiser together. We did that. And so I gave full attention to that. And then as I pointed out that starting on this past Saturday, this was Rosh Hashanah. And that is the day of the Jewish New Year. And I spent some time getting ready for the New Year. And that's partly what I'm going to talk about with you today. I took 10 days to do some perhaps more important things than just express myself, but I hope it will be helpful to you. So I'm back, and for this week, we have some things for getting ready for the year that's before us. I think you'll find them interesting. I'm Stan Hughes, and the program is Interesting Ideas, and it begins right now.
What's up, Doc?
Now, to give it a bit of framework, like I said here, usually in September, the Jewish holiday, Rosh Hashanah, New Year's, but it's not just a holiday with football, fireworks, and food and feasting and perhaps too much firewater. No, unlike the New Year's that we usually celebrate on the 1st of January. It always is connected to the spiritual realities that are present in the Jewish religious tradition. So it's not just a holiday. It really is a holy day. And of course, that's where the word came from. So what you do is you celebrate the new year. And then 10 days later is the holiest of all the Jewish holidays, and it's called Yom Kippur. You may have heard that. The story of Golda Meir was that the Arabs attacked, and they weren't expecting it because they didn't think they would attack on the Jewish holiest day, which of course was rather naive. Of course they thought that would be so when everybody has got the day off, including the army and the reservists and all that. Yom Kippur, which is the Day of Atonement, and in between are what are called the days of awe. And that's when you're perhaps to seek something amazing, something awesome. Maybe do something that will, in fact, help you have a far better year. Be more aware. And here we are now, we're on day, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. Okay, we're on day 4 of the days of awe, so it's time for us to start talking about how we can do life a little bit better. So what I'd like to do, with your permission, is just simply share some of the things that I have come up with that I'm going to seek to be and to help other people be in these coming year days. The world's a mess, yes, and there is so much out there, politically, socially, economically, Yes, the world's a mess with messed up people doing a lot of the messing things up. We mostly can't do anything about that, but we can do something about the situation, the state of our own lives. So here we go. Here's what I'm going to really be strong on. Hey, eat for your brain and your body. Now, all of us have to eat, and most of us don't eat very well. We eat a lot of stuff, and we eat a lot of stuff we like, but we may not eat very well. And I've become very much of an enthusiast of Dr. Amen. Daniel Amen, which kind of like amen, which means so be it. And his fundamental issue is, in the book that I have been studying, Change Your Brain and Change Your Body. Obviously, I don't want to be demented. Obviously, I don't want to be totally crippled. Well, his point is that it is very much the way we treat our brain, which obviously is the control center of everything else in our body, the way we treat our brain, physically, spiritually, relationally, very much, protect it, but also how to give it nutrition. Okay? Grow your brain. Now, you cannot necessarily grow your body, but you can grow your brain. And what you will do, if you can change and grow your brain, you can change your body. So I would encourage you to just, no, none of this, hey, I'm going to go to the club. That lasts for about 6 weeks at the most. Right now, do something simpler. Learn how to change your brain in order to change your body. Learn how to eat well, how to think better, how to protect that vital organ, and see if that might give you a better body. And a better brain and a better body will likely be a better year. Number 1, there you go. Number 2, sleep better. Here's a truth which, get a good night's sleep. Early to bed, early to rise makes a man healthy, wealthy, and wise. Well, it actually may help in some ways. What we do know is the person who prides themselves on their work ethic and I only need 3 or 4 hours of sleep. I only need 5 hours of sleep. I can easily work through things. I can go for a long time. Well, as somebody pointed out, most of us would not like to go to the emergency room and the doctor has been on his feet for 33 hours, which many of the early residents had to be to prove how tough they were. But after 33 hours of not being rested, you might not be in the best situation and position to actually help people in a crisis time. Why didn't we figure that out? So I'm saying find a pattern too. Kind of how you walk around, find a pattern, a system, and maybe even a gentle sleep aid that will give you a regular 6 to 8 hours of sleep, good sleep, every night. I've even discovered that the kind of programs I might watch on the television, I shouldn't do before I go to bed. Because I want my mind relaxed. Alcohol will not help you sleep better. It may help you fall asleep, but it's not the way to do it. So now, be conscious of finding, a pattern of living. Now if I want to be up at 4:30 and 5 o'clock, which I usually do, for my exercise and then to start being in the studio when I'm refreshed. If I want 8 hours of sleep, then I probably have to be turning it in around 8:45, 9 o'clock. And of course, for a lot of people, there's still a lot of nighttime left or party time left. So find the pattern, Find the system and the appropriate sleep aid. Exercise. Of course, you've heard this. No. Everyone says, I'm going to go to the fitness center. Everybody knows the day after New Year's Day in America, the fitness centers are full of people who are going to lose weight. Well, that enthusiasm lasts about 3 to 6 weeks. And by that time, people are no longer going to the fitness center in quite the way they were on January the 2nd. Exercise takes time. It may take some talent, and it may take special equipment. Learn to walk. No, not jog, not run. That may not be the most healthy way. But everybody who's in reasonable shape can learn to walk 3,000 to 5,000 steps every day, a little over a mile, mile and a half, and just make it a regular part of your day. You just do that. I found that right now, depending on the time of the day, 6 o'clock, there's a little lake that is near our little apartment here. And I timed it out by the time I walk to the lake and then walk around the lake. And I just don't walk. I walk as fast as I can. Now, I'm still walking. I'm not leaving the ground. I'm not, doing what would be called a run, but I'm walking and then walking back, enjoying the time, spending some time in nature, watching the ducks and the geese and the sounds and enjoying the trees. But I'm walking, and find a way to walk more. Just be more intentional about doing that. There we go. Hey, we're at 12 minutes, and I've got a couple more that'll be helpful to you, but think about that. Simple, but interesting, maybe inspiring, certainly ways to help you have a better New Year. I'm Stan Houston. The program is Interesting Ideas. Reach out to us. Be a part of who we are and what we do. We can help you. StanHouston@gmail.com. StanHouston@gmail.com. We'll be back. Tip. T-I-P. Usually that's something that will help us. Hey, here's a good tip for you. Something that, kind of like a hack. It'll make your day easier. It'll make things easier for you. Here's a tip. Well, T-I-P, do this. Do more talking in person. I really mean that. We text too much. We email and type too darn much. Texting and typing is only good for information. It is seldom good for true communication. And I know you think it takes less time, but actually it probably doesn't if you learn how to talk in person. And I'm going to encourage you. I'm more and more. Someone said, "Well, let's do some email stuff back and forth." I said, "No, pick up the phone. Pick up the phone, P-U-T-P, and talk to me. Let me hear your voice. Let me hear your sound, your expression. If you can't talk in person, at least talk as a person. I said last week, let's be more human. One of the ways we communicate is we have the very, very unique gift of speech and understanding. Well, for goodness sake, use it. Now that, I understand. And there are things where I communicate stuff, but if it's really important, and I find out that more and more things go faster, things go better when I make a point of talking in person. Yesterday, I found out in terms of a banking situation, trying to either, go back and forth on the email, even perhaps talking on the phone, I saved a great deal of time and energy by just showing up and face to face, person to person, person to persons. We got it solved. We got it figured out. We built relationships. It was the best 25 minutes of the day in terms of accomplishments. Talk in person whenever you can. In the last week, 3 people have commented in this way. Stan, I wish I could do what you do. Stan, I'm very reluctant to talk like you do. I'm reluctant to use that internet stuff. Okay, I understand, and that's partly why I'm here. The world lives in the means of communication. And master the art of self-expression. Learn how to express yourself. Physically, vocally, perhaps in writing, but most importantly in how you speak and how you act and how you perform. Get really good at being able to express yourself. Get coaching, get teaching. Understand that the microphone and the video camera can be very helpful to you in achieving some of your goals. Dale Carnegie made this true. How to win friends and influence people. It was, as he said, you have to learn the art of public speaking, and it is an art. You have to learn how to express yourself. So I would say, take time this year to be very conscious of, can I get better at the performing arts of self-expression, and how can I do that? I'm Stan Houston. Interesting idea, and we have one more to go, and then we'll be done for today. Interesting ideas, stanhouston@gmail.com. Web stage for What It Takes Radio, witradio.net, witradio.net. And final pitch and tip number 7 coming up. The holiday Yom Kippur is the Day of Atonement. It's where you atone. You confess that you've done things wrong. I remember one of my young friends who had been away from church for a long time, and then they finally came back and they found out that there was a thing called the confession, which they had never realized. And she said to me, you know what? I found out it's perhaps really good just to admit that you fouled up, you messed up, you didn't do what you should. But you know what? You can get forgiveness, and you can then give forgiveness. Forgive more. There are people that perhaps you need to forgive this year. Long time, much hurt and pain, but perhaps this should be the year that you don't forget. You'll never forget a real pain, but it might be helpful to forgive as best you can. Find ways of forgiving yourself. I have a very close friend who that's exactly what they need to do. They've made a lot of mistakes, and they're living with them, and they need to forgive themselves. And sometimes you just have to forgive reality. And we'll talk a little bit more about that. But here we are at 20 minutes, and it's time to close it down. But it's also time for you to think about, what am I going to do in the arena of giving and seeking forgiveness this new year? Best and blessings. StanHouston@gmail.com, StanHouston@gmail.com. As I say, I can help you. And if I can't, I know somebody who probably can. So I look forward to hearing from you. Once again, witradio.net, What It Takes Radio, and StanHouston@gmail.com. Always close with a benediction, so all the best and blessings to you in this coming, right now, new year. Bye for now.